Well, good evening, y'all. It's about 7 o'clock on Sunday night, and we're going to do part 2 of the freeze-dried eggs. The freeze dryer has about 5 minutes left, and we'll be bringing the trays in, and I'll show you what they look like dried on the trays. And then I'm going to powder them in my Cuisinart and put them into the jars, but I'm going to rehydrate a little portion of them and scramble them, and we're going to see what they look like and taste like. So Troy's out there fixing to bring the trays in shortly, and we'll get part 2 rolling on this video. Okay, we're on the countdown. It won't be long now. We'll have the trays out of this thing and in the house. Okay, he's let the pressure out. He's released the drain valve, which lets the vacuum pressure out. And when he gets the door open, he'll hand me the trays, and we'll be bringing in our powdered eggs. This is exciting. We haven't done these before, so y'all are seeing our maiden journey on eggs. Look at them. They look like crackers or something, and they're dry. Look how cracked they are. Okay, I'm going to get all the trays in, and then we'll get them out of the pans and into the food processor, and I'll whiz them up, and then we'll get them vacuum sealed in the jars. But we're going to cook a few of them. Be back in just a minute. Did we just have one pan or two? These last 2 pans come from our hens. The others were boiled eggs, but these 2 are from our little ladies, and they're darker. Okay, I'm going to get them out of the pan and into the Cuisinart, and we'll get them whizzed up. Okay, y'all see this ice that's in the freeze dryer right here? It goes all the way around. See? And what happens on the freeze dryer is it freezes everything solid. And then these things here have heat on the bottom that heats a little bit. And as it starts to thaw and the steam comes up, it freezes it. And it continues to do that until it has whatever's in your tray totally dried out. That's why the drying time varies, because sometimes what you have in there has more moisture than other things. So before we can put another load in, we have to let all of this dry. And we could put it on defrost and it would heat up and do it, but we have time to wait. I think I'm going to do some apples. But anyway, that's what happens, and that's why the drain is down there. As this melts now, it'll go down into the drain, and before we start it the next time, we close the drain valve where it'll pull a vacuum, and we'll do another load of whatever we decide to put in there. Okay, we always come in here and get some of it up off of the pan, and see how it's crumbling? Can y'all see that dripping down? Powder coming down? It's just crumbling like, I don't know what to compare it to. So it's totally dry. So what I'm going to do, I might could just powder them by hand and not put them in the Cuisinart, because it's just turning to pure powder here. But what I'm going to do is scoot this back a little bit where y'all can see my food processor here. Okay, and I'm just going to be putting pieces of it in there to powder. Okay, 2 trays filled a half-gallon jar, so I'm going to put my oxygen absorber down in it, and then we're going to seal this over here on the Vatmaster. So, get a lid on it. Fingertip tight. And I'll let Troy do the rest of that. Set it to start with on 30 seconds, and then it has no sealing and no cooling because there's no bag to be sealed. That's when you vacuum it in jars. This is how you do it. This machine, in case y'all hadn't heard me say that. And there they are, sealed and good for many years as long as our seal holds. And this machine puts a good seal on it. So we're going to get the other jars done, and then I'll cook some of them. Okay, this is our last jar. We're going to have, I'm going to take out a couple of tablespoons before we seal this one. And we'll just kind of do it even so we'll kind of know what we're doing. Okay, and we'll take it over here and add some milk to it, and then we'll cook them. Okay, I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of water, and if it don't look quite, of milk, if it doesn't look quite the right consistency, we'll add a little bit more. 1. Okay, I've got it. I can still see what looks like flecks of the yolk, a little bit darker. But we'll cook it and see what it tastes like. Now, if I were putting this in cornbread or something, if this works out, I would just put, a couple of tablespoons of the powdered egg into my mix and add a little bit extra. It'll rehydrate in the liquid. So let's get over to the stove and cook them. Okay, I've got my butter melting here. I'm going to put in my egg. Turn the fire up to medium. This is my scan pan, and you can actually scramble eggs in this with nothing. And they don't stick. I love it. Look at there. It looks just like it's supposed to. When you're scrambling eggs, just kind of scoot them. Don't chop, 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 and that way you'll have fluffier big pieces. Okay, I'm going to get it out. Get me a plate to put it on. I don't want it to keep cooking. I like soft scrambled. Well, man overboard. Just a minute. This would sure be easy to make an omelet out of, wouldn't it? I'm putting a little bit of black pepper on here. And y'all know my crank one that I've been so proud to have? They don't even have it on the website anymore at Sur La Table. My ratchet pepper grinder. So I'll quit bragging on it because we can't get it. I don't know what happened. A little bit of salt. And then we'll get over here and taste of it. Okay, I got salt and pepper and scrambled eggs, and let's see what they taste like. Make sure all the salt's not in one place because I don't like lots of salt. That is amazing, y'all. It tastes just like a fresh cracked egg. So 2 tablespoons of the powder and 2 tablespoons of milk made about like 1 scrambled egg. So that's how I'll use my measurements in my cooking. If I need 1 egg, I'll use 2 tablespoons and so forth. And see how it works. I am going to use some in some bacon just to try it, improve it, and show that it works. But this is good, and it tastes just like breakfast. I just need a piece of bacon or sausage with it and a piece of buttered toast. Hope y'all have enjoyed this. Gives you an idea of what you can do with a freeze dryer. I know everybody don't have one, but a bunch of y'all do. And we had never done eggs. Troy had watched several online, and he's been wanting to do eggs for a long time. And I finally, the hens had laid, and then I had some boiled eggs. So I had enough that we could fill the freeze dryer up with eggs. So I think he said it was 34 eggs to the tray, and there's 5 trays, so that was a whole bunch of eggs. That black pepper kind of hot. Anyway, I hope y'all will come back in a day or two, and we'll have something brand new. I've got a fleece blanket I'm going to show y'all how to make. It makes a good Christmas gift and there's no sewing involved. So if you're not a seamstress, you can still make this blanket, and I've given one to every one of my kids and my grandkids and my neighbor and his wife and their kids, and they love them. So I'm going to show y'all how to make that one day this week, and you will have a gift you can make for Christmas, because fleece is on sale right now at Joann's. I'll see y'all in a day or two. Be getting together some food for your Christmas dinner, and some stuff to make a few sweet snacks to spoil those kids, and take care of yourself and come back and we'll do something fun. Hey y'all, I need to clarify something. I said 34 eggs to the tray, and actually that was on the medium eggs that came from the store. So we measured 5 cups of whipped up eggs per tray, and that way it wasn't all the way to the top. We didn't have to worry about them getting over into the freeze dryer for whatever the reason. So 5 cups per tray is what we put on each one to freeze dry it. So I thought I'd come back and tell you, because my hen's eggs were almost twice as big as the bought eggs, and it didn't take near as many of them. But 5 cups is what we put per tray. Alright, now you know as much as I do.